Let's talk about Evgeni Malkin and his 4-game suspension that was handed down by the NHL's Department of Player Safety also on Monday evening. 4 games for his cross-check to the face of Nashville Predators defenseman Mark Borowiecki. You can take a look at that sequence here. It was Sunday as the second period. Time was expiring. And it gets a nice little two-handed whack in first, and then a cross-check right to the jibs of Borowiecki. So 4 games, Chris. Is this enough? Is it too much? Is it just right?
Yeah, it's a tough call. I mean, especially at this stage of the season, as the Penguins are trying to gain their footing here and trying to stay relevant. Well, they're relevant in the playoff race, but just to try to move forward here and actually have a chance to surge into the playoffs and start peaking, and to not have Malkin is going to be very painful for them. But the thing that as far as the suspension goes, I mean, you have to consider the history. Malkin was suspended once for swinging his stick at Michael Raffle a few years back. This is an escalation from that, where he actually does make contact, pretty significant contact with Mark Borowiecki's face, and draws blood. And certainly, we are desensitized to people losing teeth in hockey, but you're not supposed to be able to do it with that huge cross check to the jaw. Certainly, we had Austin Matthews get suspended for a cross check to the face earlier. I think because of Malkin's history, that's what brings the extra games in here, where he's got the 4. So I do think that this is appropriate. I was surprised to see 4 games. I thought maybe 2 to 3, but understanding the history, I think it does make some sense to me.
Yeah, Tim Peel wrote a great piece, our Daily Faceoff rules analyst, on dailyfaceoff.com on Monday, saying if it were up to him, he'd give Malkin 5 games. And the reason for that is the message needs to be sent. You can't use your stick as a weapon. Doesn't matter how frustrated you are. Cross-checking someone in the mouth doesn't work. It's no good. It doesn't matter what he did to you beforehand. You just can't do it. And so he used his stick as a weapon twice in that sequence, as you see it. By the way, as I'm looking at it, the way I see it, 4 games adds up to 2 for the Austin Matthews cross-check to the face. This is the equivalent of that, plus 1 for the history of Malkin with the previous suspension, and another game for the injury to Mark Borowiecki. So there was certainly some concerns and rumblings, Chris, on Monday that Borowiecki had suffered a fractured jaw. I don't believe that to be the case. He did undergo x-rays. I think they're negative, but he certainly had a lot of dental work done on Monday to repair those missing teeth. So certainly not a fun few days for Mark Borowiecki, and now Malkin will pay the price on a Penguins team that, for better or for worse, is actually used to not playing with Malkin, so they'll miss Malkin for half of their remaining 8 games. And call me crazy, Chris, but I actually think the Penguins play a little bit better without Malkin in the lineup.
Yeah, you might be right, Frank, because it seems like they've just gotten used to it, and you don't have that security blanket, so it forces guys to come and play up. You got guys like Brian Rust that have really stepped up. Obviously, Gensel, we've seen, and we come to expect that all the time now. But yeah, and you have surprise guys like Evan Rodriguez who have really made an impact. But I tend to agree. I mean, I think you always want to have your best players, especially in the postseason, especially a guy that's produced at the level that Malkin has, and he'll be back for the playoffs. But this is a good little bit of practice here, just to remind yourselves what it's like to play without him. But if it was me, I'd certainly rather have him in the lineup than not. But I certainly see that point as well, where this is just kind of par for the course for them.
Yeah, especially while you're trying to hang on for dear life in the standings. The seedings actually matter for the Penguins. If the Washington Capitals are somehow able to catch them, that puts the Penguins in danger of facing the Florida Panthers in the first round, which, oof, I don't know that anyone wants to do that. So you've got the Caps and their work cut out for them. 2 games in hand on the Pens, 4 points back. That is certainly one Eastern Conference playoff race to watch. But wanted to